Hi, I'm Landscaper and this is the Wannabe Composer series. Today we're carrying on with our long chill Simma, pretty much exclusively using Splice for this. I'm going to work the next blending or the next DJ mix if you like. Yeah. Is there such a thing as a mock J? I don't know, whatever. We're working the next drum beat. They come in at the end of part 3 and then we're going to go into part 4. Let's go look at some beats. Some beats. It's like the poshest way of saying beats ever, isn't it? Go look for some of those drums. I quite like that. Let's have that. What's it called? Deep Tech House. Come on. Yeah, we can get behind that. Color code. Then the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to combine these first 4 because that's what I'm going to use in my fade in. Select them and then bounce the audio down. Bounce selection. Replace the original. Do we fancy a filter or do we fancy a fade? These are the questions. I could put a bit of a filter. Let's do it. Let's try it. Let's fetch the old one knob. And what we'll do is run that back down. We'll rewrite that. I reckon it's going to be around about 3 or 4. Now, it doesn't matter too much how badly you do your run up. I kind of like a bit of a slope. I like a bit of a slope there. I think what we'll do is we'll have a nice, so we'll put our final in there, which is obviously off, and then we'll get a running up, I think. We'll take those out, take that one down so it starts to really sort of sweep up a bit. Get rid of those, have a nice little straight line there. Okay, so we're going to fade it in just to that point there, and we've got a nice little filter sweep coming into this. Let's take 4 of these, loop it off. Okay, that's going to work nicely. So now I'm going to do a bit of mixing on the drums. Quick EQ. Just while I'm here, I'm just making note of that 67 Hertz is where the kick is really impacted, so I'm going to take the EQ out of the basses and stuff like that later on. Get a little bit more space in the mid-range. But until I've got other beats in and done the group, I'm not really going to mix these too heavily now. I think I found some complementary hats. I finally remembered the button it was that my producer friend said to use instead of time stretch, right? So I'll put this back just quickly. So this bottom track here, see it's just over because it's playing at 130 and we're 134. And up here, this musical mode, right? That was the button. If you look now at the bit, there it goes, right? So it doesn't stretch it or digitalize it. It just, I don't know how it works. You know me, not the tech guy, but it works. Bit of volume leveling. And shuffle them off slightly to the right. And then the obligatory EQ. I've noticed in this main drum there's a little boop boop. Very good technical term there, but there's a specific frequency that is possibly going to get irritating. So I'm just going to see if I can dumb it down a little bit. I think it's here. It wasn't there at all. It was here. I don't want to kill it completely. It's part of the charm. That's a pretty good beat. Let's do a group channel for these. Drum group part 4. Always original. You know me. Boring. To say so myself, right? So first of all, we'll run a quick EQ over the top of the 2 just to try and balance them out. I often feel, and I don't know if it's my ears or maybe the AI or what, the initial AI idea of what to remove always sounds a bit ropey. I don't know, weird, isn't it? To me, it's taken way too much out of the top. It's lowered a little bit too much out of the bottom. And left a little bit too much in the mid. Could be my old ears though. Put a little notch in at 300. Okay, I think it's sounding a bit better. Now we're going to whack the Soothe 2 over the top, and we're just going to do a little low mid reduce. If I whack that depth right the way up, you'll hear the difference. It's like that's the sort of frequencies it's yanking out, and as we just reduce that depth, gets to a nice level. The obligatory now, I'd almost stick this on everything, I'm terrible, but I absolutely love it. Now what I've done is I've taken the silver bullet from the previous drum group and brought it in, because hopefully that'll, I mean, tinker it a little bit, but hopefully that'll keep everything relatively kind of consistent in terms of volume and sonically. He says confidently, I don't know, might not. You see, I just want it to be pretty much hitting the 10 and not really too much further. But that's good. And then we're gonna finally, if I can add a little bit of compression. I'm pretty sure last time I did vintage compressor first and then that compressor, which actually worked quite nicely. So I am gonna do that again. Steinberg, Dynamics, vintage compressor, or compressor. And then a final bit of compression for the drums bus from the Smart Comp. Get down to -3 now. So I use this little thing, supervision, to check levels, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, we want it to be at around about maybe 8, maybe 10. -8, -10, not -2. So we're going to reduce the gain on that bus. And then slowly lift it up until we get to about -10. Somewhere balanced between both channels. What's next? What's next? Well, if we're liking that kind of like summery vibe, I don't know what key. We've just left A minor, so I might go for like a A minor. Let's go for an F, I think. But I think we probably will go minor. Maybe we will look for basses first. I'll tell you what, I've got to have the first little phrase of this. It's me going, yeah, let's do some funky nice summer house. And then I heard that, and then what are we gonna do? I can't not. Bass Funk Essentials. Who's that by? By Father Phunk. Of course it is. Father Phunk himself. He brings you funky presents at Christmas time. I mean, that sounds fantastic. I absolutely love that. Sort of level out. So I think with this, I'm only really gonna nick a few bits of this. That very opening, I mean, that is great. And I might have that actually as well, you know, but I won't have that. So just the opening bit, pop a little tail on that, EQ'd it a little bit. I'm gonna stick a little bit of silver bullet on this. Just gonna switch my EQ around so it's the other side of the silver bullet, and then I'm gonna try and pull it a little bit more out of the low, I think. I feel like I want to get a little bit more punch out of that very first note, and then a little bit less out of the others. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna make a little cut here. And I'm gonna take this second part down a little bit in volume, and I'm gonna try and whack it up a bit. Right, now just to check the levels, I'm going to just run it off from 0.0, ride it up until I think it's at a good point. Now, I still feel like there's quite a lot of mud in here. I'm going to compress it before I go too much further. Seems like a reasonable balance. I'm just going to bounce this down. Let's go see if we can find something complementary. I found quite a cool bass house techno sound. I'm going to try this. Bass house techno. I figure with this, I'm going to nick a little spot of this and then just have it on mute. Let's just have it on mute so we can't hear it. Right, it's all at a level. Okay, I think there's something there. I'm not sure they're complementary yet, but I'm going to mess about with this for a minute. I think I'm getting somewhere. Okay, I'm going to carry those 4 across, and I don't really want that bass hitting straight off the bat. So although I think I'm not 100% convinced, but I'm liking those so far. I think I'm going to use this as a little fade in here. I just found this thing I really like. It's called Tokyo Machine Bass House. I'm going to put it in. I mean, sounds crazy to mix all these, but I'm doing it. I found another little like synthwave synth that I'm going to try as well. I'm aware I'm just chucking everything in right now, but sometimes how I work. Man, I love Splice. In a minute I'm going to need to get some of these to sit a little bit kinder together, but just for now I'm going to persevere chucking stuff in. I think perhaps now like maybe some muted trumpets or something weird like that. I think I only really want this first little cut here, and I probably want it to be somewhere like that. I'm going to put a bit of reverb. Liar! A whole ton of reverb on that. Check it over on the left a bit, a little bit more volume out of it, and maybe a bit of an EQ. Okay, I need to look at arrangement now. The more I listen to it, the more I feel like I need to separate these 2 bass parts here. I know I stuck them back together, which is kind of dumb, but I'm going to duplicate these 2 tracks because I'm not getting the EQ I want. So I'm going to ditch that one and that one, split them up, and then we'll remove the rest. So now I can focus on the EQs on their own. Okay, I feel like I've got those 2 talking together now nicely. Now I need to try and sort the EQ out for this little bass bit here. Do you know what? I'm not loving that sound now. Nah. Gonna sack it. Brutal and rash. Let's find something else. There's one called Techno Expedition. We'll see. Do a little bit of EQ. Before I sack it off, I'm gonna try and hollow it out a little bit. Nope. You're fired. Right, next. I'm gonna try and find some real bass stuff. I found this one called Doomer Post-Punk. And it's a post-funk then, but I don't know. It might. You never know. Set me level. Nah. Nope. So I found a couple of other like stabby, nasty little basses. It's just getting so much further away from that summer vibe. I've done a chill one, don't worry about it. Maybe. Let's see what we get. Rough about with these. 5th time's a charm. One more little thing I think maybe to tuck in here. I'm also not 100% convinced that that would constitute the entire bass loop. I might just sort of put this one every like other. Definitely keep these guys as the main body. Find something to fill that gap there possibly, and then maybe something else to stick on the end. Blinders Bass House. Let's try these guys again. I think that might work. tuck this in as well. A real mishmash in it. I found another one in that Tokyo Machine bass house. Let's go have another look. ST for Tokyo. I left my heart in Tokyo. Hello?
Hello, is this Peter?
Yeah?
Hi Peter, you are speaking to Tyler from PCP Reclaim. I'm calling in regards to your motor.
Yeah, you ain't. Although on this video probably not this long, but I've been at this for like an hour and I can't tell if I've gone down a rabbit hole, a bad rabbit hole, or not, or a good rabbit hole. Now I feel like I might even want to drag that out further, like have another load of this, keep that one over there so there's nothing on it, and let's work out what we're going to do with this read write filter, because that sounded kind of nice coming in, but I think it needs longer to come in. And this doesn't quite work, the EQ doesn't quite work on this. Let's see if we can fix that first. Okay, I think I might work that EQ now. I feel like I need to add a little filter crush when these bits are playing at the same time, almost like a side chain almost. Just gonna experiment with this filter, see what it's like if it's right the way down and mildly on. Okay, let's see if these scan. But I'm not hating where this is going. I have this in the wrong place. Possibly all of these, possibly in the wrong place. I think they may be supposed to start there. Now listen from the top again, boring. I think I might be on the right timeline, but what I do need to do is create a drop around here. So this has got to be significantly different. I'm going to try and half time these. I'm going to cut the very end off. I'm going to phase this drum out. Have I got a filter on one? I've got a filter on one of these, haven't I? Which one have I got a filter on? So we'll run the filter, I think, down through here. And I could probably do like a fill, a rise, or something else maybe as well through that bit. That did not work. Okay, let's take that off. Maybe what we'll do is a reverse. So we'll time stretch it again. Then I'm going to reverse it. And then I'm going to fade it in. And what I might do is actually keep that going, but have the filter working through it. Now I'm thinking maybe the volume is too quiet on this. Take it back up a little bit. I'm just going to fold that back. And then we're going to get get a riser in here. Riser! Preferably in F minor. Okay, maybe a crash as well. I'm still not convinced that bass is working across the drop. Not always, but sometimes you can find crashes and splashes that are actually tuned So I'm going to hunt for some in F. That one called Catharsis. I like the name. I'm still not convinced that the EQing's right between these three guys here, but I might mess about with that in a bit. I need some space for my ears and head to think. I feel like a lot of this track is going to be in the mix, how it's actually put together, which I'm going to spend some time with and probably not bore you with. But yeah, I really like the bones so far. Camera's kind of starting to run out of battery. I'm starting to run out of time in the day, but I'm going to persevere for a little while. I also feel like having had a couple of seconds off, all of these samples have got to be complementary to each other, sound like they're supposed to be there rather than just thrown into a point. So I think I want to kind of backtrack a little and maybe take some of this stuff out. The the Tokyo one, I'm just not sure that works anymore. I'm gonna get rid of it. So I think these two need to be quieter than the drop. I think I need something extra coming in with the drop. Something needs to add another little element. I'll pull these vocals in, see if I can get these to work. Right, so I'm going to nick this little bit from here. This is everybody watch out, she says. Everybody watch out. Right, I don't think I do want that one. But this might work. Everybody watch out. So maybe, I'm going to put a little bit of time into it just before I decide against it. A bit of nectar in there. Okay, I think I'll clean up the vocals a little bit. I'm quite happy with them. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add a vocal bus. I don't know why it's called a bus. I'm going to move everything onto it. I'm going to see if she's got some other ones that I can bring in as well. So again, I think I need to EQ this vocal a little bit more just to get it to sit in. I need to EQ everything to sit in. For now, I'm running out of time a little bit. Running out of time, running out of energy, running out of brain space. I'm going to put pause in today because I'm nearly the end of the battery of my camera. We'll come back to this tomorrow. They've joined me back. I was doing part 4 and I messed about with it a little bit after I finished the filming, and I think I'm there. It's slightly too heavily compressed in places. This is a bit of dynamic issue and blah 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 blah. So I'll probably tinker about with that a little bit. Anyway, that's part 4. I think it's part 4 we're working on. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching.